Good morning and welcome to the Northland News. I'm Jessica Peters.
And I'm Chad Heckert. The Northland News is a bi-weekly news program produced and directed by the broadcasting students at Park University.
Today on the Northland News, we take a look at internships, Geography Awareness Week, and sports. But first, Chad Heckert fills us in on this year's International Festival and Bazaar.
As we all know, Park University has one of the most diverse student bodies in the country, with students from all over the world. On November 18th, everyone at Park had the opportunity to learn more about all of these countries and each other at the International Festival and Bazaar. Set in the Brecken Sports Center, Park students, both foreign and local, got their chance to catch a glimpse of the clothing, food, traditions, and more, thanks to the World Student Union. Fry Fajardo, an international student from the country of Venezuela, attended to both support international students and learn more about other cultures.
I'm an international student and I have to enjoy people here, and it's very fun to know everybody around the country, in every place, around the country. Where's the capital of every country, and
Having lived in America for 4 years, Fry has adjusted, but always wants to learn something new.
I feel like really interested was Togo. Which one? Togo, the country. It's a really fun. They have some instrument, weird instrument, they never see it.
Although learning a new language has been tough, Fry says the most difficult thing about being a stranger in a strange land is being without the closeness of friendship.
Different here was exactly the language is different. That's a big difference. And the customer, we have a good relationship with friends. When you live, where you live, your neighborhood, you talk with your neighborhood, you make a party with your neighborhood. That's a big difference because we always do it like that. And here you don't do that because you don't have a time to enjoy or to share with people in your neighborhood.
Chad Heckert for Northland News.
The devastating tornado that rocked Joplin may have been forgotten about by some, but not by Park University. For the past month, Park students and faculty have all chipped in to donate to Box Tops for Education, a charity which sends its proceeds straight to the Joplin School's Tornado Relief Fund. Tonight, the event comes to a close at Alumni Hall, where Nima Shafe, a 2007 Park alumnus, will share stories about his experiences as one of the first responders on the scene in Joplin. Bring a cereal box top to the event at 7 o'clock in Alumni Hall tonight.
Stephen Youngblood will be the commencement speaker at this year's December graduation. He has been practicing peace journalism since 2007. His speech title, Inciting Peace, Carl Gregory has more on Youngblood's recent Uganda peace journalism project.
My little corner of the world among the journalists, I was surprised at the kind of impact our project had, and surprised at how receptive the journalists were. So I think the journalists want to be professional. They want to be peaceful.
During the Ugandan presidential elections, Park University professor Stephen Youngblood taught students and professionals in the country about peace journalism.
And always ask yourself the question, what are the consequences of this story? Locally, at each of the seminars, they produced public service announcements. Sort of no election violence was the theme. And these ran on radio stations across the country. And then we also did a larger project with more professional PSAs. And those were also distributed nationwide.
While spreading the word about peace journalism, Youngblood was joined by two Park University students, Keith Taylor and Andy Inns.
Works in public relations, because they will be going out and trying to influence the public to feel certain, trying to influence an opinion either way.
Speculations about peace journalism's future with students are in the works.
We're thinking about establishing an institute here at Park University for peace journalism, a global peace journalism institute. And what this would do is to carry on the kind of work I'm doing overseas.
Whatever may become of peace journalism in the future, some key principles will stay the same.
Thank you very much. Well, I would say in a general way, peace journalism involves the choices that journalists and announcers make. They can make choices that are conducive to peace, that encourages peace, or instead they can make choices that breed violence, that incite, and so on.
Ray volunteers. It's GIS Day.
In celebration of Geography Awareness Week, Parks geography students presented GIS demonstrations in the Thompson Commons. GIS, or Geographic Information Systems, involves mapping and spatial analysis and can be applied to almost any field of study. Students gave presentations relating to business strategies, conservation, and natural disasters. This was a chance for students to learn about GIS and get some free popcorn, of course.
Has your internet been running slow? Ruben Ramirez, Senior Security and Network Administrator, told us that some causes of that are illegal file sharing. Downloading music and movies could be to blame. He also said that in the future there will be a network called Safe Connect, which will allow students better access to the internet.
Dress for Success. Park Student Government and Career Development Center went to work on preparing students to be real-world ready. Carl Gregory has more.
On November 16th, students at Park University walked to the red carpet for food, for drinks, and a fashion show.
The Career Development Center, along with the Student Senate and the senators, have put this event together. We put on this event for the students to learn about how to dress in different business situations as well as casual situations. And it's also a fundraiser for harvesters, as well as the cash donations will be used for the Coats for Kids for the North Kansas City School District.
Students prepared by putting time and energy into the show.
I had to make dresses, but I already had these made, so I already had that down. And then you have to do a fitting with the leaders of the fashion show, and then after the fitting you have 2 dress rehearsals, and then you do the show.
I think it was fun, and it's really good experience about how to dress for the business casual for events and a cocktail party. How to dress good, it's express yourself.
I hope they do it again. I really do. There's a lot of planning, a lot of hours that went into it, but everyone pulled together and came through.
This is Carl Gregory reporting for Northland News.
And to wrap up Geography Awareness Week, students teamed up in an effort to begin restoring the old Parkville Cemetery. They collected field data using GPS equipment and cameras. That information will be used to create a map and digital database for the cemetery. This is the groundwork for the history program's upcoming community service project aimed at restoring the old cemetery.
The community of Parkville has the chance to get in the holiday spirit with a Christmas concert right here at Park University. The Kansas City Philharmonia is performing a Celtic Christmas on the River, which will include a selection of traditional Christmas carols performed by the symphony with an Irish flair. The concert is this Saturday at 3 in the Graham Tyler Memorial Chapel. Are you disaster ready? Carl Gregory found out if Park University is prepared.
On November 5th, an earthquake shook Oklahoma. Friend of Park University junior Caitlin Cook felt the tremors in Kansas City.
She just said that she was in her apartment and she could feel the movement and she heard everyone freaking out.
Northland News asked, how is Park University prepared for a natural disaster?
I know that there are plans that officials have about any of these natural disasters.
But there are still some mixed feelings among students.
I haven't really heard a whole lot. I'm sure that they're prepared, but they just don't make it known enough for the students, so maybe they could work on that.
They throw emails everywhere to everyone, you know, in a matter of seconds that this is there, this is there. Okay, communication is really good, but there should be a force on them.
Public Safety Director Todd Pimbleton said they are the first responders. There are also others on campus ready for these situations.
There is somebody in charge in those cases per building that will make some announcements or take some action.
We would have drills when I lived in the dorms, especially fire drills. We definitely had quite a few fire drills in the middle of the night where the fire department would come up and, you know, we'd have to rush out. Had real instances where the tornado alarms were going off and our RAs would come and collect us.
Some students feel not enough is being done, that the aged buildings aren't safe, but offer ideas on how to be prepared.
I've seen Red Cross here. I've seen a lot of organizations who do that. You know, and why don't I mean, like, I would love to work with them, you know. So there can be a lot of Park University students who can volunteer their help.
This is Carl Gregory reporting for Northland News.
Many students at Park are taking part in internships. Brittany Wolf is one of those students, and Jessica Peters has more on her story.
Thank you for choosing Impact Sports. This is Brittany. How may I help you?
That's Brittany Wolf, a senior at Park University who is now well on her way to becoming a social worker in Jackson County.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Brittany is currently interning within their children's division and has already been offered a job when she graduates. She says her experience here has really opened her eyes and given her a new perspective.
I'm getting to see what social workers really do instead of just reading about it in class or hearing my teachers tell me, you know, what they've done or people they know have done. I'm ultimately getting to be a social worker.
Although Brittany has been offered a job when she graduates, she has 2 jobs now to pay the bills and says it's a lot to handle.
Make flyers. It can be really stressful trying to juggle my schedule because it wears a toll on you.
For confidentiality reasons, I wasn't allowed to film Brittany during her internship, but she did have some advice for other students.
So I really, really recommend it. So you get a really good taste of what you're going to be going into. That way you can kind of decide from the get-go if this is something you're going to be cut out to do.
Reporting for the Northland News, I'm Jessica Peters.
In sports, Our Lady Pirates wiped the floor with Grinnell College in Saturday's basketball game. This makes 8 straight wins for the women so far, already making the early season an impressive 8-1. Park's Dominique Hayes led the game with 19 points scored and 11 rebounds. Nicole Wilhite also ended the night with a solid 17 points and 7 assists. Grinnell left the court with a humiliating final score of 82-41 Park. You'll have to wait until next year to catch the next game when the women take on Benedictine right here at Brecken Sports Center on January 2nd.
Yesterday, Park's men's basketball team came from behind and secured a win over Peru State. The final, 77-67, came after a second-half surge, and the Bobcats were unable to claw their way back. Park's Justin Harrison had a career-high 9 rebounds and scored 14 of his 19 points in the second half, helping Park to victory. The men's 2011 season ended with this game, but is scheduled to start back up on January 2nd against Benedictine College.
The Park women's soccer team ended their season on a gloomy note with a loss to Hannibal LaGrange on November 10th. The Pirates seemed to have a shot at redemption when Park's Ashley Maxwell scored a 45-yard goal, soaring over the head of Hannibal LaGrange keeper Whitney Vopel, tying the game up 1-1. But it wasn't enough to stop the Trojans' Sarah Hammock from scoring the winning goal in the 95th minute, claiming the 2011 AMC Tournament Championship for the Trojans. This season may be over, but all the action gears up again next season in August.
Thanks for watching this edition of the Northland News. Be sure to tune in next semester. For the Northland News, I'm Jessica Peters.
And I'm Chad Heckert.